Hi, Dawn Lewis here, and here is the companion colouring video for the Inseparable Friends box card, and I'm using Prismacolor Premier pencils today to colour this cute little fox and this very adorable little puppy. But we're going to start with the fox. So I am going to say this right up front. I am not super professional when it comes to coloured pencils. Coloured pencils are really just for fun and dabbling and enjoying the colouring process, to the point I don't even want to be a professional with pencils, but I do want to really enjoy colouring with them. And I think I've got the advantage because, you know, shadow and highlight, it doesn't matter what you're colouring with, whether it's paint or pencils or markers, whatever. The principles of shadow and highlight remain the same. So, you know, I can make it into something I'm really happy with. And a lot of you guys requested that I colour with pencils this time. So your wish is my command. I did colour all over with a pale orange and decided, you know what, this fox needs to be a little bit more reddish orange. So I decided to keep the pale colour underneath rather than stamp and start again, because it can act as a little bit extra depth, a little bit of extra highlight. And then I've gone all the way over it with this more reddish orange pencil. So one thing I do know about pencil colouring is it's all about working with a light hand. I mean, there are lots of different methods to colouring with pencil, but for me, the look I want to achieve is working with a light hand and then building up layers. It's time consuming, sure, but you know, isn't everything that you colour in. So for this one, I thought I'll get the reddish orange in I want, and then I'm coming in with a brown pencil just to throw in a little bit of shadow. Now, again, you can see this brown and it might look a bit scary, but I really am colouring that with quite a light hand. I don't want to really burnish the pencil in and kind of emboss as I'm colouring into the cardstock. And this is stamped onto blending card. I've got to say, I wish I'd stamped it on regular cardstock, and I wish I'd used Ranger Archival Jet Black ink. But I went on autopilot because I always colour with Copics. Now, pencils, they colour fine on blending card, but regular cardstock's got a little bit more tooth, and I really do prefer colouring on regular white cardstock. So I just changed the base card that I use to a new one from Officeworks, which is more heavy duty, and I had all this quill 200 gram white cardstock left, perfect for pencil colouring. So, you know, things come in handy for different stuff. I wanted to keep the ears, the tail, the paws, the muzzle, the chest, belly white, just for that more of cartoon kind of look rather than pink in the ears. And so I used a little bit of the silver pencil because I don't have any greys in this set. I really should open that bigger set. So I just used the grey and it worked fine. And we're moving on to our gorgeous little Basset Hound. Isn't he sweet? Now this kind of creamy brown, which when I put it down, it looks like a creamy brown, but the actual pencil kind of looks like a greenish cream. I know that doesn't make any sense at all, but it does. But it worked. It worked on this Basset Hound. He's got a black nose, but the rest is made up from 4 different shades. So I've got the greeny cream. This color that is for his body. My parents had a Volvo this color when I was a teenager. Totally embarrassing to be seen driving around in. Even more embarrassing to be at the driver's wheel learning how to drive in this baby poo colored Volvo. It's a good car though. Now that I'm an adult, I can appreciate it a bit more. But as a teenager, I was not keen. I can tell you that. My sister was certainly not keen. And for the ears, I'm using a really dark brown. Now, the end of the video cut off before it showed me putting it in the shading, but I did actually come back and put more layers onto the ears. For the eyes, I've gone very lightly around the outside with a pale blue, and I actually think it just brings a little more life to the eyes. If you really wanted to add a sparkle into the eyes, you could go in with a white gel pen and put that little highlight on the black dot in the middle there. And then I'm coming in with the brown again, just like I did with the fox, and throwing in some shadow where the ears are overlapping, where the head would cast a shadow on the neck, where those great big eyebrow folds would cast a shadow on the back of the head, and those eyes would be sunken in deep. And you know, so you go all the places where you think something's going to cast a shadow, and get stuck in. That's where you put your shadow. Now you can see when I come in with a second layer of that body color that all of a sudden the color is intensifying. You can actually tell the difference. But what I did do was on the eyebrows especially, I didn't go all the way to the top because I wanted to leave it like it was highlighted. So I created my own highlight. I've thrown a little extra shadow onto the belly in these sort of green cream areas, and I think that came up really well. So the body color was actually a better shadow color under the mouth there for the muzzle. And a second coat comes in. If I'd done more coats, it probably would have been a little bit more intense, but I was kind of happy with the way that this turned out. I thought it came out really, really well. And the shadows give enough depth and give it enough of a 3D look that I got to the end and I went, that was fun. I really enjoyed that. So for me, pencils are fun, and I do hope that you've enjoyed seeing me colour these with pencils. I did fussy cut when I was done with just a pair of fine scissors, which was actually quite easy, especially giving it that die cut look, but you could cut up against the line. And here is the fox, who's on the left, and the puppy on the right, and they are on this box card video. Now there's another video that shows how to make this card. I'll link to that for you. I do hope you enjoyed seeing the pencil colouring process. Hope you have a very crafty day, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.